In this video, we're going to be learning about the surface area and volume for cones. So a cone is a solid that has one base and has one vertex. So it's not a polyhedron like we've learned about before because that circle isn't a polygon. So the base of a cone is a circle. And the height of a cone, kind of just like for pyramids, is the perpendicular segment from the vertex to the center of the base. So from our vertex to our center, this distance is our height, and it is perpendicular to the bottom. And then just like with pyramids, our slant height, which we'll call that cursive L, is the distance from the vertex to a point on the edge of the base. So think about our slant height as being slanted on this cone. The first thing we're going to figure out is how to find the surface area. So the surface area of a cone is the sum of the lateral area plus the base. So what we kind of have to do, if you think about if you had like a paper cup tipped upside down and you unraveled it, that unraveling part would kind of end up looking like this. And then we end up with our circle on the bottom. So the surface area is going to be one of those unraveled pieces on the sides plus that circle. So one circle. This unraveled piece, if you notice this segment right here, L is our slant height, and then this part right here kind of wraps around the circle. So the area of the shape is going to be pi r L, and we know the area of a circle is pi r squared. So here's the formula for the surface area of a cone. So if we have this example, we know our surface area again. Let's write out the formula is pi r L plus pi r squared. R in this case is 15 centimeters, so pi times 15 times our slant height is 25, plus pi times our radius, 15 squared. Now if we multiply those numbers out, we get 375 pi plus 225 pi, which we'll leave in terms of pi just by adding those two numbers to get 600 pi. And since it's areas in units, we'll say centimeters squared. Last up, we have the volume of a cone. So the volume, as usual, is the space that a figure occupies, and it's measured in cubic units or units cubed. For a cone, it's a little bit interesting. If you think about the area of the base, that's pi r squared, and then what we're going to do is multiply the height. But if we multiplied by the height, that would give us a cylinder. So this is actually only 1/3 the volume of a cylinder. So we have to multiply everything by 1/3. Or we can divide everything by 3. So it's kind of like 1/3 of what you would get if you had the same base, but it was a cylinder. So to find the volume of this cone, what we have to do is figure out our height. So if we know our base is 15, what we can do is again make a little triangle like before. Here's our height. So let's say our triangle is 25, 15, and h. Then you're going to use the Pythagorean theorem again. So we'll say 15 squared plus h squared equals 25 squared. And now we have to figure out what that is. So if we do 15 times 15, we get 225 plus h squared equals 25 times 25, which is 625. So that means h squared is equal to 400. So if we take the square root of both sides, h is 20. So don't get mixed up between our slant height, which we use in the surface area formula, to our height, which we use in the volume formula. So now our volume is going to be 1/3 pi times 15 squared times 20. If you multiply all that out, you'll get 1,500 pi centimeters cubed since we're working with volume.